Okay, we've been exploring chord construction, chordal tones, spellings of chords, talked a little bit about voicings of chords, what that means. Then we began spelling random triads in the last video. So that was where you saw a chord symbol and you had to come up with the chordal tones that create that chord symbol represents. Remember this one? What a pain in the butt, huh? Now we're going to reverse the information. I'm going to give you chordal tones. You're going to have to come up with the chord symbol. And this happens a lot when you're seeing melodic material. So you saxophone players, really all of you, but violinists or cellists or anyone who plays a wind instrument. And anyone who plays piano, if you're playing classical music or you have a line written without chord symbols, you can look at the notes in that line and diagnose what chord may be happening underneath that, or what chord those notes may represent. Okay, so we have a couple of stacks here that we're going to try to diagnose, triadic stacks. Okay, our first one is E, G sharp, B. Now, the key is to go to the root. Pun intended. You go to the root, which is the lowest note, right? The root, and then the triad tree grows up from there. So you go to the root, and that'll give you your key. In this case, the root is E, and you've got to know your key signatures by now. If you don't, you got to go back and work on those. So I know that for the key of E, I have 4 sharps. Fat cats go down. So I'm going to write out the E major scale to figure out what an E major triad would look like. And then I'm going to compare it to this. Find out if the third has been flat, which would create an E minor. Find out if the third and the fifth have both been flatted, which would create an E diminished. Find out if it's 1, 3, sharp 5, right? If the fifth has been raised, that would be an E augmented. Okay, in order to do that, it all comes from that major scale. Everything comes from that major scale. That generative scale, right? So E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Put my degree numbers in there. Okay, so there's my E major scale. And now I'm going to circle 1, 3, and 5. And I can stack that up next to what I have up here. So I'm going to erase this. Get this out of the way so that I can stack it up next to it. E. Okay, here's the first one. The next one's G sharp. And then the fifth is B. And I know that that is an E major. Okay? And then I look and I compare it. And they look exactly the same. So I know that my answer is E major. Okay? And then I'm going to erase the one that I compared so that it's nice and clean. And I know that that's my answer. Okay, let's move to the next one. So again, I'm going to look to the root. The key is to look to the root. Good joke, huh? In this case, I have an A, C, E flat. So this is going to be generated from the A major scale. So I'm going to have to know my key signature for the key of A major, which is Fat Cats Go. And I'll write out the major scale for A. G sharp, A. And there is my A major scale. There are my degree numbers. Remember, I'm trying to get the major chord so that I can compare. Okay. So I've written out my A major scale. Got my degree numbers in there. Circled 1, 3, and 5 because I know that that spells an A major triad. Okay. I'm going to erase the one that's next to it over here because the glare is really tough. So if I work over there, you might not be able to see it as well. So I'm going to erase that E major one. Okay. And then I'm going to stack up A, C sharp, E. And that is an A major. Okay, this A, C sharp, E is an A major. So now I have to compare. Okay, A is the same. That's good. It should be the same. Okay. And then I find this C in my answer. But an A major has a C sharp. So what happened to that C? Was it raised or was it lowered? This C sharp is actually a C. It became a C, which means it was lowered 1/2 step. So this is a 1. This is a flat 3. Okay, because this third has been lowered. The fifth is E on an A major triad. In the music, I've been given an E flat. So that E has been lowered 1/2 step also. So I end up with a 1, a flat 3, and a flat 5. So think about what chord symbol that is. That is an A diminished triad. Okay? So you're going to have a sheet that looks like this, where you're going to analyze triads. Always go to the root, find the key, write out the major scale. Look at 1, 3, and 5 and compare what's been done. Have things been flatted or sharped? Okay? Let me know if you have any questions, as always.